Hey, it's Wednesday. Welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange, East End Edition, on this fine May 13th. And if you're in the Ottawa Valley, it is a drizzly day, potentially a little bit more downfall and rain. I was watching my neighbor the other day watering his garden, his front lawn, and I said, "Why are you doing that?" And he says, "Well, it hasn't rained much." Well, it's that's been flipped around, so it's coming. All right, so let's share some stuff here. pbex.ca. So that's Phoenix Business Exchange, acronymed pbex.ca. Go to the website and you will find the ways to come on in if you want to come into this meeting. Join us. We're live on LinkedIn and Facebook. And I'm going to share a screen now. And you should be seeing the Phoenix website. And the member of the week is Jacqueline Richards. She does mortgages, and you click her little card button, the red button here, and it'll give you her contact details. You want to hear Jacqueline speak about mortgages and how to be a yogini and work your finances into the whole picture, and click onto the video here. These red buttons that are visit any of the four chapters are links to the Zoom. All right, so Monday morning, 8 to 9 Eastern, Wednesday morning, right now, 8 to 9 Eastern, and Thursday morning, 8 to 9 Eastern, are the ways to come on into this channel and visit us. May 26th, 7 p.m., we're having after hours group, and that's more just to keep you accountable to stuff. You hear someone talking today. Maybe they're talking about breaks. Maybe they're talking about, hey, I can sell your house. Maybe I can help you arm wrestle a CRA. Click the upcoming no events. We're not selling event tickets to watching people arm wrestle CRA. Sorry, but if we have upcoming events to CRA to anything that's going on, click here. I'm gonna have to stop talking about CRA. Canada Growth Network. We're meeting every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Not next Monday, though. It is a holiday. It's Victoria Long Weekend. East Trade Winds meets every Tuesday, 8 to 9 Eastern. And East End Group is meeting next week on May 20th at Hive. It's also on Zoom. It's available there. It's a one-off. We're doing it during the holiday week, so there is no Monday and there is no Thursday sessions for Phoenix. South End is meeting in person at the River Lounge, just south of Hunt Club on the Prince of Wales, and you can do that by Zoom or just come on in. Both the Hive and River Lounge are at start at 7:30 a.m. Now, if you have a question about you want to find someone that's selling a good product, social media connections, breaks. Now we can talk about the rest of things CRA or looking to buy a home, click here. You'll find all the members in the list, and they have all the contact details. That makes it easy. The e-card comes with every membership, and what it does is just makes that super easy to make that connection. It reduces the friction for your clients. And the cards have been tapped either by link, QR code, or the card actually physically came into someone's near someone's machine 193 times. We've done over 5.5 million, $8,270 worth of business since 2016 between members, and year to date, it's been $24,563 of business conducted between members. And I'm going to stop sharing, and we have an educational minute coming up with Susan McGarry. Susan, over to you, ma'am.
Sure. Good morning. Thank you so much, Bernie. This morning I choose gratitude. Good morning, everyone. One thing that can completely change the direction of your day is gratitude. Before the stress, before the phone calls, before the problems, take a moment and focus on what's still good in your life. Gratitude can absolutely shift your mind from what's missing to what's possible. It helps you stop living in lack and start noticing blessings you may have overlooked. Maybe it's your health, your family, another day to grow, another chance to improve. When you start your morning grateful, you show up differently. You speak differently, you handle stress differently, you attract different energy into your life. Even on hard days, there's always something to be thankful for. Sometimes the smallest things become the biggest things. Maybe it's a cardio 9, a Pure Trim wellness shake, or a cup of warm coffee. A text from someone you love, a body that still gets you out of bed. Gratitude doesn't mean life is perfect. It means you're choosing peace over negativity and faith over fear. I challenge everyone here today and listening in on live. Start every morning with gratitude and watch how your whole life begins to change. Back to you, Bernie.
Susan, well done. That was a great educational component. Appreciate it. So we're live on LinkedIn, and hey, there's the post, and you post your contact details there. It's a good way to share information about yourself, and it promotes connectivity to other people that you're engaged with in communication on LinkedIn or on Facebook too. I'm going to start off with Sam and then go to Wendy. Sam, what is happening in your universe other than you're going to be busy with your e-card and at 9:30 you're doing something for a client? Go ahead, Sam.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. That is correct. Going to get my QR code fixed, hopefully. And I do have, actually, I'm still changing tires. This is for my accountant today. He's busy in last month, of course, with income tax, and now I'm doing his tire changing for him today. Let's see here. Sam's Connected Cars, that's yay. Besides tire changing, I also do, well, dash cameras. That's why I call myself Dash Cam Sam. And this time of year, I'm moving into my car cleaning or car detailing business. If you have a pet and the pet goes in your car, it's often with that pet comes things like hair and dirt and mud and all kinds of things that they attract into your vehicle and make it a mess. So if you need someone to do that kind of thing, or you know a person who has a vehicle that has that situation, please refer them to me. Samsters Connected Cars. Let's see here. Let's see. BAMS wise. Eric got his car exhaust fixed. I didn't do it for him, but I did tell him that I wasn't available to be able to do that and referred him to someone that could. And let's see here. Dave Beliveau came by last Thursday, I think it was. Uh, just dropped in on me and had a tire that was leaking. Pulled a 3-inch nail out of his tire. The guy seems to attract. I think I fixed his tires at least 5 or 6 times now. The guy keeps running over things. I don't know. Maybe it's the renovations he does in his house. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the BAMs I've done. Let's see here, and well, we're going to hear from Kat today. That's right. And I don't know about next week who's going to speak because I didn't book anybody. That's it for me. Sam Sturgis, ConnectedCars.ca, today's mobile electronics without the cost of a vehicle, and a heck of a lot more.
Oh, Sam, you're a wild man. However, East Trade Winds has Paulo Canaban speaking, and he's out of Brazil, and he's helps businesses stay focused on their clear goals. He's the next pharmacist. Wendy, over to you, and then we will bounce over to Eric.
Good morning, everyone. Wendy Chung, real estate broker with Century 21 Synergy and team lead at the Ottawa House and Condo Group. Although sometimes we can have a love-hate relationship, social media is somewhere where we all need to be being business owners, just to see what's going on with other people within our network. So it was last night that I went on Facebook and I discovered that one of my past clients is moving to Calgary. So I messaged them and I said, "Oh, so what's happening with your house back here in Quebec?" And they said, "Well, we're coming back for a month to get it ready and we need to sell it because we've already made the move to Calgary." So I asked them if they had an agent and they said, "Well, obviously, Wendy, we would be using you, but unfortunately you cannot trade in Quebec," which is absolutely true. However, I did put him in touch with a very trusted agent partner I have on the Quebec side who works the area that the house is located in. And lo and behold, the email, I connected the two together. So I think they're going to be working together. So all to say that even if you have no real estate needs here in Ottawa, but you know of someone that needs a good representative somewhere else in the world, feel free to reach out to me because I've got a very strong network of people that I trust. And they would be sort of an extension of myself, and I'm very picky. So your clients will be in very good hands. So in terms of the market. The market is picking up, starting to get busier and busier, and that's a great thing. I hope everyone is as well. I've got ongoing business with Susan Ebbs and Kat Hurd. Thank you.
Wendy, thank you so much. Just another reminder, and there is no Canada Growth session on the 18th, but we are following up on the 25th. Eric, over to you, sir, and then we'll go to Susan. Go ahead, Eric.
Good morning, Bernie. Today I'm going to mention why we don't do something, right? We don't advertise personal taxes, although we do lots of them, and we do not advertise nonprofit and charitable organizations. And why is that? That's because we're all blessed with having clients who belong to the nonprofit charitable sector. There are people who have reams and reams of paper with notes that you need to do, but no money to do it with. And that's something that frightens accountants, lawyers, IT people. You know, they're also managed by people who are volunteers. And people who are volunteers are much worse clients than people who own the place. People who own the place have a life. They have a wife, they have a husband, they have a dog, they have a kid. Volunteers have one-dimensional view. They have a messianic approach to the work. And you can never leave it, especially if you're married to someone who's a volunteer at a nonprofit that you do. You walk the dog and you're talking about the nonprofit. You spend your whole day doing the nonprofit work, and they want you to spend the whole week. So I don't advertise nonprofit work. I think it's valuable. I think they do a great job, but I think they should be dealing with accountants that are less experienced and don't know what they're getting into. For this and other information about what to do and what not to do, 613-254-7310. We are Cote and Associates Professional Corporation. We have 8 offices in Canada, 1 in the U.S., and we're expanding right now. We're talking to people in the Maritimes. So I will give you more information on this as things happen. Thank you.
Eric?
And everything else will be in the chat line.
So make sure we send you all the charitable entities to your
Yes.
doorstep. Got it. Bad referral. Got it. Susan. Well, before we do that, I'm just a quick promo for Kat Hurd. So she helps social media push inside the Phoenix space, and she can help push your social media content out for you too directly. Susan, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. My name is Susan McGarry. I'm with a company called Best You by Design. It's a health and wellness company, and we carry a line of products by and from Pure Trim that target energy, weight loss, joint relief, healthier joints and muscles, and of course, healthier aging. Look good, feel better, live your best life. Susan with Best You by Design. I'll put my information in the chat. Thank you, Bernie. Back to you.
Whoa, that was quick, Susan. Awesome. And we're going to swing over to Mr. Tony. What's going on, sir?
Okay. Hey, Bernie. Thank you very much, everybody. Just getting all the buttons to work. Okay. Tony Jennings from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group. I'm a medium and clairvoyant. I give readings for businesses. I specialize in businesses. Most of my clients are business. They come in when they either want to spend a lot of money to be able to go into a certain direction, whether they want to expand a certain part of their business, or whether they come across an investment. They'll usually give me a call. Of the ones that call me, and it's actually quite a high percentage, I would say about a fifth, 20% will want a reading after they've made the investment, hoping that they did right. and almost 90% of the time it's not right. So if you can, if you are going to invest in something, try and see me before. It's hard to hold on to the horse after it's left the corral. All right. So the idea here is I don't I look at the energy of the deal. I don't even need all the details. They just say, okay, well, there's just one deal I'm looking at, and within like really 5 seconds, hold on, I'm just getting a no, or I'm getting you could do it, but there's some things that they're not saying. That's a big one. The deal is fine, but there's something they're omitting about the deal, and why they're doing it, I don't know. Maybe they think that it'll kill the deal if something comes out, but a true investor should know everything, so that if you know something's coming and you're still going to invest, then that's the thing to do. One of the reasons why people can't decide is because our energy is skewed. We're in front of computers all the time. We have phones, iPads, we have all kinds of electronics around us. Many of us sleep with our phone literally a couple of feet from our head on a nightstand, or worse, charging on a nightstand. Or they might have cordless phones. They might have. It's best to have one of those wind-up clocks that will wake you up. Then it doesn't have any EMF at all. Or behind your head, behind the wall, there's a series of wires and circuits. I've actually had one client actually about 6 feet away from the panel box of the entire house. So there's 40,000 volts coming into your home, and they're sleeping in that area. Anyway, that's a longer story, but the point is that the reason we can't feel is because there's so much electricity around us in our field that we don't see it. So when I do it, I am pretty clear. So I see things in a different perspective on top of the sensitivity that I have. One of the things you could do is there's a little bracelet called shungite. It's a stone that astronauts use so that they're not going to be connected to a lot of circuitries and electronics around them. There's literally 10 miles plus, if not more, I think it's way more than that, 10 miles of wires, circuits, transformers in the space shuttle. And if they didn't put any kind of a coating like shungite and other materials that can absorb that EMF, they would literally microwave and cook in that place. So that's how important it is. So whether it's a small stone, we have smaller stones too. You can put it in your pocket, and literally, if you've got computers and you're working with CPUs under your desk, and you got phones and other things around you all day, there needs to be an EMF sort of a holiday. You need to just get away from your devices a little bit. If you're going on a walk, put your phone on airplane mode, just so that, because I have my pedometer, how many steps I take, and so I'll put it on airplane mode, and that way I can sort of measure how far I go. So there's different ways to do things to sort of keep your EMF absorption down a little bit, okay? And by doing that, you'll be able to feel whether or not a deal will be something that's good for you. Okay? Tony Jennis from Higher Self. We are here to raise your spirits. We have ongoing business with Eric, with Josh. Josh, you're just finishing up a little thing that we are working on, but the site looks great. I've really upgraded a lot of the parts of my site. I probably have close to 600 pages on my website. I know. I never thought it would be that, but it's quite great. And with Real, he's able to go through the whole site, and that way, when someone comes on and asks a question, it's like an Autobot where it will answer questions and things like that. So that's, as the site gets bigger, it's great to do that. And that's. Did a little business with Susan there last week. Thank you, Susan, for dropping that off. I'm just waiting for the better weather to come, so that's looking forward to that. Okay, so back to you, Bernie.
Yeah, Tony, today's not better weather. At least for motorcycle riding, it can be.
Yep.
So Jacqueline couldn't make it here today, so she asked me to kind of do her piece. And I've just fired it into the chat. Jacqueline Richards, welcome to Guinea, where money meets mindset. She does mortgages. She does mortgages here in the province of Ontario and a bit across Canada in some places, but you have to reach out to her to find out the finite details in that space. And it's about your headspace also at the same time. So reach out to her. She does a really good job, and she'll help you sit at your chair, relax, take a deep breath out, and just let your shoulders down and just become chill. That's always important. For me, I might chill you out if you're listening to some of the podcasts. If you want to know kind of a quick scan, like what podcast do I want to listen to, you can go right to the blog post and just search in that space. There's also, if you go to the knackforbusiness.com, you can use the same chatbot that drives Tony's site. You can use the same one to find out information therein. So if you're looking for a specific answer, it ranges all over the map, from accounting to real estate to coaches to you pick it. It's been in that particular space. Now, I'm going to stop flapping my gems because you know what? Our guest speaker is here and ready and roaring to go. Kat, over to you, ma'am.
Hey everybody, so I'm gonna start by asking a question. Okay. Susan, I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you have a particular brand that you like to purchase that's not pure trim?
Oh, yes.
Give me a brand.
Louis Vuitton.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna play with this now. So what is it about Louis Vuitton that you're attracted to?
Quality.
Okay, the quality, okay. Do you know anything about their values, their mission statement?
Not really.
Okay. Would you recognize their logo if you've seen it?
Yes.
What do you associate with that brand other than quality?
Style,
Okay.
presence, quality, branding,
Okay. Okay. And
luxury.
luxury. Okay. Cool. Right. Sam, I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you buy any branded items? Can you unmute?
Sam,
All right. Sorry, I had to
Think of
unmute.
those auto parts.
Um, Auto parts? No, actually I don't specifically go to specific names. Although I have to say, yesterday I ended up buying a wheel bearing called Timken. It's one of the top named wheel bearings you can buy for this vehicle. So that might be one, but I don't
But
I
did
don't
you
think I know
buy
anything
that?
about the company per se.
So did you buy it from them because of a necessity or did you buy it from them by choice?
Necessity.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Susan, as well. I was so rude. So what you've done is you've highlighted something for me. So when we look at companies, obviously we're looking at the branding. We want to know who the company is, what do they do, what do they stand for, why should I use them? You know, what do they sell? What are they all about? What is it that attracts us to them? So you get two different types of people. You get people like Susan who turn around and say, I love that brand. I'm going to buy from that brand. And you get people like Sam that are like, I need something. I'm going to go to the place that has what I need. So what we need to do is when we have our own businesses, we need to look at our brand. We need to look at what do we do? Why do we do it? How do we do it? What do we stand for? And how do we get our audience to be more like Susan and they come and they use our products and services because they know us, they like us, they trust us, they think we're valuable to them, versus I need that. Now, obviously, when you've got something like Wendy, who not something like as in she's not a person, when you have a service like Wendy has, if I put better English in, that does at some point become a necessity. You have to move, you have to downsize because of, you know, a lifestyle change, you know, a new job, a new baby, whatever it is. So yes, there are times when your brand is going to become like the way Sam looks at things as, I need that, I'm going to go there. But not all of us have businesses that are essential, you know, I'm making this a right pig's ear. Let me try again. We don't all have businesses that are a necessity to use. So, for example, depending on the type of business you've got, it is essential that you use an accountant. So it is essential that you would contact Eric to make sure your books are right. But if you're somebody that has a hobby job, so you're only making $50 here, $50 there, you're probably not going to use Eric. But if you know Eric, you like Eric, you see the value, you're going to go and talk to Eric. I'm sorry if you're only getting $50, he's probably not going to actually take you on as a client because it's probably not worth his time. However, he's a really nice person, so he's going to give you some advice on what to do with that and how to declare it and all that jazz. But the problem we have is that a lot of us look at brands in the wrong way. So it's great when you get a client that says to you, oh, I'll always use you because you make me laugh or you always make me smile. That's fantastic. But it doesn't actually sell you business. You want to have in your own respective industry, you want to be like the McDonald's. And I don't mean cheap and cheerful. I mean, you see a billboard sign or you hear a radio advertisement and you hear the McDonald's jingle and you automatically know it's like McDonald's. You see the logo and you got the golden arches and you go, that's McDonald's. So you know what you're getting, you know what they sell. You automatically know your relationship with them. So you know they're a fast food outlet, you know, I eat burgers, I don't eat burgers, all that kind of stuff. You know whether you deem things to be value for money. For some people, you look at the branding in the sense of the mission statement and the kind of core values. So you look at it and go, McDonald's stands for family. So some people will look at it that way and go, do you know what? I've got little kids, I'm going to take them there. Other people will go, yeah, it's junk food. It's not going to happen. But you need to build that relationship with a brand. And the problem that most of us have is that we don't use our brand the way we should. We don't all have mission statements. We don't have value statements. We don't all have logos. Those of us that do don't necessarily use them all. Now, Sam clearly does, but the rest of us may not. So you may put a post up on social media and you never use your branding. You may have an open house or a show at the EY Centre where you're selling your wares and you don't have your own branding. But then how do you expect people to associate with you? It's great knowing that Bernie does podcasts, but isn't it better if somebody says, hey, I'm looking for a podcast, if you say, hey, have you ever thought about going on the Knack for Business podcast? It's not just about knowing and trusting Bernie, it's about knowing and trusting Bernie's brand. So we all need to kind of build a relationship with our customers, but it's not just us building the relationship. Yes, we are the product or the service, so yes, they have to trust us because they're buying us, but they need to believe in your business as well, in your brand. What do you do? So yeah, you can turn around and say, Tony is a super nice person. I'm always going to do business with him. But if you don't believe in what Tony does, why are you doing business with him? So you have to know, like, and trust his business. You have to be able to recognize everything. And I think the problem is, for a lot of us, we don't use branding correctly. It's not everywhere. We don't shout it from the rooftops. We don't use it to build customer relationships. And we're just about going on social media and saying, hey, I can change your tires. Hey, I've got this house for sale. But we don't give anything about us personally. So we don't build that know, like, and trust with us. So once we know what a brand does and we know why they do it and how they do it, we need to have a differentiation between you and any other brand. So Louis Vuitton is a good quality product. But what happens if you don't want to buy Louis Vuitton, you want to buy, I don't know, Ragley? It's a question of you need to know the difference, you need to know the values. But if you have a relationship not only with the company, I mean, obviously with a large company, you don't have direct relations with individual people, but we all have little businesses. So it's a question of we need to have that relationship with the person. So we need to know, you know, I want to go on social media and find out that Wendy went on a walk with her dog Whiskey. I want to know that. I want to know that Sam went out and had this, I don't know, this amazing experience doing something. Or Tony went out on his motorcycle ride. I want to know all about this. I want to build the relationship with the people that I'm doing business with. But our social media doesn't always reflect this. We don't build that know, like, and trust as individual people. We don't build it as a business. We rely on this word of mouth kind of thing. And that's great. Because if you're somebody like Eric, word of mouth works brilliantly because I'm assuming, and I could be wrong here, he can only work with so many people at one time. He is but one person. But somebody like Susan, she can sell to thousands of people because from her premises, well, not her premises, from Pure Trim's premises. So it's a question of putting not only you, but your business in front of people, getting people to recognize your brand, getting them to know, like, and trust the business, getting to know your mission statement, your core values. And if you don't have mission statements and values, let's change that. Let's put it out there, work out who you are and what you do.
Our heads are moving, but she's frozen. Internet.
Oh, am I back again?
You're back.
Cool.
But we see your front, but you're back.
Okay. So I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. So yesterday I had a conversation with a lady who is in a completely different networking group. And what she does is she custom fits bras. Now, everybody understands what that means. However, the message has got mixed somewhere, and she tells people that she sells bras. And people are coming to her and saying, but you charge the same price as going to the department store. Why am I coming to you? And it's because she's got confused what she's doing. So she doesn't have the same relationship with her business that she should. So everything that goes out to the audience doesn't work. So it's great for everybody else to know what you do, but you need that relationship with not only yourself. And if you do need a relationship with yourself, I think that's more Tony's space than mine. But to build that relationship with your business, we need to start there. You need to know, what do you want to do? Who do you want to talk to? Why do you want to do it? And then we put all this stuff in place so that your mission statement, your branding, it all goes towards the right people, and it's put in front of the right people so that they know, like, and trust you. They remember you. They want to do business with you. And for a lot of people, sadly, it's lost. But those are the people I want to do business with, because I want to kind of save them before their business goes under. Because everybody has the right to have their voice heard, to sell their products and services, because we're all here for a reason. We all have a why. We just need to put that why out there and allow it to help us to connect to everything. And that was a load of random waffle, so I will apologize. Thank you, Bernie.
Oh, Kat. But tell us more. All right. Does anybody have a question for Kat? So, Kat, what I'm hearing you say is there's You're going to have your usual content you're pushing out.
Yep.
You also have to have your raison d'etre, the reason why you're engaged in that space. A little bit about you, the person. That's not your product, but so they get to know you.
Yep.
All right, and if you're looking for that distinction between everybody else, we'll go to the brassiere section.
Yeah.
There's a difference between what your client does and then what a department store does, because she's dealing with specialty situations. They will not, and they won't have the expertise. They'll just go, hi, slap it on, and you're off to the races. And hopefully you have a clerk that knows what they're doing.
Exactly, but that's just not the message that she's been pushing out, because to her, she's kind of got lost in the noise. I mean, you know what it's like. We're all busy doing whatever it is we do, that we tend to build a disconnect, not on purpose. We think we're putting out one thing, and somebody says, hey, you're actually putting out something else. And you're like, oh, I need to look at that.
Yeah, it would almost be an advantage to ask a friend, based on this, what message are you hearing? Because I know in public speaking, there's always the question, this is what I'm saying, but what are people hearing? And most speakers think it's the same thing, but it isn't. Sometimes we'll hear and listen to one message, but the speaker will have something else. But yeah, that's a good example of the fitting custom as opposed to just selling itself. You're not making it exclusive.
I think the only caveat I would put on that, and I can't emphasize this strongly enough, is please do not ask somebody under the age of 18. Because I have had people that go, oh, I've just asked my grandchild, how old's your grandchild? 8. Well, I'm sorry, an 8-year-old's perspective, if your audience is not an 8-year-old, it's not right. But yeah, I mean, ask your husband.
Unless you're selling toys, and then it's the 8-year-old that's going to convince the adult to buy it. Yeah.
I still probably wouldn't ask the child at that point, because they're not paying for it. It's a question of, you want to get the perspective, does the parent find it value for money?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody else have a question?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I just
go
want to
ahead.
make
No.
a comment. Yeah. So, Kat and I have been working together for quite some time, and some of the posts that she puts together for me, it's just outside of real estate. It's just for people to get to know who's Wendy, right? We were working on, the personality behind it, because I'm not just a broker. I'm more than that, right? I'm a mother to Whiskey. I'm the wife of Craig. I'm the mother of my mom who lives with us. I'm this, I'm that. I have a lot of golf friends. I've got a lot of other interests other than real estate. So I think that some of the posts that Kat puts together are just super engaging and very interesting. The last one she did for me was, I was quite close to getting a hole in one, and I had a picture, and I guess I must have sent it to Kat, and she created a post about it, and I got some engagement from people that I haven't really talked to in a while. So it's really about engagement. It's about energy. It's about allowing people to see who you are. And I think that when people get to know you a bit better outside of your professional field, they might be more inclined to reach out when there is something related, to what I do for a living. Or it just could be, some advice. Listen, I'm starting up golf. What sort of brand, what are your clubs? What do you like to hit? What's the best way to go about it? Who should I be talking to if I want to take lessons? Maybe something like that. Who knows? It just opens up another conversation. So what Kat's saying, I completely agree with, in terms of being well-rounded and having your audience and other people see who you are outside of your professional field as well. So thank you, Kat.
You're welcome. I think for you, the number of times I hear, and I don't know what it is about golf, it's not my space, but the number of times I hear people have done so much business on the golf course, it's ridiculous. So if you do, golf, or in Eric's case, soccer, whatever it is, use it to your advantage, because if you can then use that to leverage your services and start a conversation with somebody, why would you miss that opportunity? It's money left on the table.
So I've got a motorcycle rally coming up on the weekend. It's in Renfrew. It's probably about 200 or 300 bikers getting together for charity and stuff. So if I had a film, or if I, because Sam installed a dash cam on my bike, so I have a front and back sort of a view. If I made a 5 minute video of the whole event, would that be something that you're looking for, or is it too long, or would it be worth it to do?
So firstly, I would promote the event before you do the event.
Ah, yeah.
Purely
Stella
because
agrees.
it's a fundraiser. If you want to make money, let's give people the chance to support you before you do it.
Okay.
But absolutely, if you've got dash cam footage, then why not use it? And then you can do the post, thanks to everybody that donated to the cause. We raise $6,000, whatever it is, and use it to promote that. But it may then mean that other people want to engage you in a conversation about you doing something to support their businesses or their charities.
Ah,
So absolutely do it.
okay. I'll send you some information on that. Then that's a good idea to do it ahead of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually for a
Okay.
fundraiser, yeah.
Yeah. I'm good at the last minute stuff. Yeah. Okay. Good idea. No, that's good. Yeah.
So, Kat, is there a good example for people to, if they're looking at, is there a role model that people can look up to exemplify it either in their industry or at large?
Sorry, can you ask the question again differently?
Certainly, I can do it in reverse order of the words, but that won't. I don't think it'll clarify. Is there a role model that we can look up to as a good example, and does it have to be in our niche?
Um, I think, to be honest, if it would cause more confusion, so you've obviously got big marketing gurus, so I could say something like, oh, go and look up Gary Vee, or go and look at other big names like Tony Robbins and stuff. But if you're selling tires, or no, Sam Fitz tires, he doesn't sell tires. So if you want to sell that, that isn't, how are you going to then replicate that? I think it becomes more confusing. So you can use it as a reference point and see the type of content they put up. But I think you're easier to find somebody in either your own industry that you can follow, or have a conversation with somebody who does that. So, like, give me a call and say, hey, I'm thinking of refreshing my social. What type of content do you think? Because it then becomes easier. I mean, it's not me doing it for you, but it's me giving you indications of, go and check out this person, or go and do that. Because it also varies by region. So Wendy selling houses in Ottawa could be different to going and looking at somebody who sells houses in Quebec, because it's a totally different market. So it's probably easier to have a conversation, what can you do? Because some of it I could recommend you would replicate, and some of it I would recommend that you didn't, if you see what I mean, because it has to be your kind of style. So obviously, like, there'll be generic stuff that would be the same.
So
Or
tailor fit.
yeah, totally. It should all be tailor fit. You shouldn't just, and I've seen most people do this, especially MLMs. They do what every other MLM company does. So they'll go, oh, my upline does this, I'm just going to copy this. But then there's no difference between you and them. So by all means, use it as a reference point, but it is not the finalized product.
Does anybody else have a question or point or a golf ball or a motorcycle? Fair enough. So for the Canada Growth Network Power Hour, the May 25th, the guest speaker is going to be Jessie Lynn McDonald. She's out of Ottawa, actually. And I'm going to close us off with a quote from Leila Hormozi, or Leila Hormozi. The fastest way to become insanely confident is to become dangerously competent.
If you have a business that is more than you, you have people working for you, you have weak points. In my office, for instance, a weak point is the receptionist. Because that's the first contact the client has or the caller has with us. Before they know that I'm a nice guy, that I have a dog, that I have all of that kind of stuff, that's the person that makes it or break it. And that's the person when we put the most training in. And that, if one of the clients that I don't like to have is a restaurant, because the life's expense of a restaurant that is owner owned is about 5 years. And the reason it's 5 years is my local restaurant here. We have two. We have Gabriel's, and we have Gabriel's, and we have another one on the other side of the mall, and that one goes bankrupt every 5 years. One on it.
Oh, that one shouldn't go bankrupt. They're a chain. They sell the steak really good cheap. Sorry.
But why do they go bankrupt every 5 years? Is because they have 18-year-olds being the contact of the customer. And there were 8 people lined up, and 2 young people came in, and were friends of the person that does the seating, and automatically bypassed the 8 people lined up. The 8 people in unison left the restaurant. And I said to my wife, this is the beginning of the end for this restaurant. Because you cannot re-advertise to those 8 people.
No,
you pissed them off, and that they will never come back. And you never know who those 8 people are. They could be there. They could bring other people in. They could do all kinds of things. You cannot afford that. So as long as you are, a one-person business that controls the delivery of the product, the getting of the product, it's easy. But the moment you have people working for you, it's not easy anymore.
Do you monitor it though? So when you're having your receptionist welcome all these people, are you actually getting customer feedback from their experience?
Yes.
And is it good or is it bad?
Not always.
Yeah, sounds like she needs more retraining.
Well, we spend lots of time and money on it. We have people coming in and showing people how to talk on the phone, how to things that I take for granted, other person might not be taking for granted.
Wow.
But it happens, and we have to, I have to say to her, sometimes just say hello and send it to me or to Caroline. Do not spend time on the phone. Do not do. Part of the problem is that she's younger and she's not confident.
Maybe send her to Tony. He builds confidence.
Yes, maybe I should.
Yeah, but having worked corporate, and you have 10,000 people, you have 10,000 points of contact, and you have 10,000 opportunities to make things go totally sideways. And your job doesn't necessarily have to be front desk receptionist. You could be the cleaner, or you could be the doctor, right? So, because those points, yeah, there's so many contact points, and it depends where the frame of mind of the person coming in. Right, into that space. If you're already in pain, everything's an irritant. So if they're showing up on your doorstep and then they're confused, lost, right? Anyhow, versus someone who's a happy-go-lucky like Tony, just comes in, I'm here. Oh yeah, that's nice. But can we get to the other side of the mountain?
Like some people will say, this. It just doesn't happen. It's a lot of work. I used to spend a lot of time on my hair. Now I have to spend it on myself, but it's true. It's it's the branding. I mean, as soon as you start getting people working, with you, we're still a small thing, but once we start to get bigger, we have to rely on other people, and this is like exactly what Eric says. You got to hire people that are experienced, competent, and they know the score. Just to have somebody fill in the weakest point, like you said, it's the first point of it. When we start expanding our crystal line, we're going to eventually have a crystal shop, which will be a very substantial area. We got to have like 3 or 4 people to run it. So you got to make sure that people know what they're talking about. Somebody comes in, I need a crystal. Okay, well, we have over 200 or 300 different ones. What do you want? I have no idea, and they can't help them. So it doesn't help. They got to know a little bit of this stuff. They got to be sort of minded that way for the people, because that's what they're looking for. Sometimes I'll even get, and Tony, I'm not sure what I want. I have about $50, but I want to get something that's energetic for my mom. And so I have to channel and get into that energy to get whatever products it is, and then work it out where they get what they need for that price point. But how do you teach that to somebody? How do you teach 40 years of experience to somebody that's going to be hired in a week? Or they got to start next Monday, sort of thing. So it's tough.
That's a thick training manual.
Yeah. But it's more than that, because character you can't teach. It's not in a manual. I'd rather have a person that's less experienced, but they know how to talk to people, and they're personable, and their character, it just shows that they care. Because, it's...
Just download your personality and all your knowledge onto like a USB stick and upload it.
Yeah,
Go into a crystal. Just embody yourself and
do
a
Tesla.
Horcrux. Do a Horcrux. That worked out well for the Harry Potter series.
What'd you call me?
Well enunciated words.
Yes, for sure. But it's it's a thing. As long as we're small, just like Eric said, it's easy. Because sometimes it seems effortless. Like, how hard could this job be? I'm just, doing whatever. But it took 40 to 50 years to get this. And you just know. Sometimes before they open their mouth, I know what they need, But how do you teach that? How does that go? It isn't easy, because it's just experience. Like, somebody who's only put on 10 tires, I don't know if I trust them as much as somebody who's done 3,000, like Sam, Like, it's easier to find someone cheaper. Well, maybe not. Sam is actually, his rates are pretty good. But if you do find somebody cheaper, it's like, is that what it's all about? Is just a low cost? As a trucking, I used to be in the trucking business for 20 years before I got into this. And it was always, whenever I wanted to save money on a part, oh yeah, we'll just put in this reconditioned, whatever it was. And middle of nowhere, I'm halfway to Toronto, and there's nobody. 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm driving to a client to pick up a load of furniture. I got to be there right at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's 4 a.m., and then something happens with my truck. And the part that I got at a good deal didn't make it. So it's like, oh man, I saved a few bucks. Now I have a bigger problem. I got to get this fixed. I got to get to the client. Now I've got all kinds of excuses I got to come up with. So when something is $700 or $200, I'll go for the $700 because it's cheaper. In the end, it's cheaper. That's just, there's a certain part on my bike that I'm thinking of getting. On my passenger, if I have somebody, because it's so comfortable, sometimes they fall asleep. They do, because it's so comfortable. So I was always thinking I should have side rails for these things, so that if somebody does fall asleep, they'll just lean in and they're sort of caged in there in a comfortable way. So I have these things that open up and they come in. That was my idea. So there's one company that has it for $150. Another one has it for $650, but one locks. One, when you close it, it doesn't open. And I'm thinking, if someone falls asleep and it just opens up, well, what's the point? Why, you know? So for the safety of my passenger, I'm going to spend the extra 400 or 500, whatever it is. But that's what it comes down to: is it going to do the job? And that's kind of what we all talk about when we do coaching. It isn't that your coaching services are cheaper or more expensive. In the end, it's about, can you help me? And sadly, it's psychological pricing. If I have a coach that's $50 an hour, or I have one that's 500, which one sounds like they know what they're doing?
When I was right out of university and I had my first accounting job, they gave me files to review and make notes for about 3 weeks, and then they told me to visit a client. And I visited a client that had a sort of cafeteria in downtown Toronto in a hospital, and he had never made a penny ever in his life as profit. Okay, no profit ever in his life, and he'd been there for 25 years.
Wow.
So I said to him, you should sell the restaurant. You're not making any money. And he said to me, if I sell the restaurant, how can I live? Now, as a young university student or former student, or as a young graduate, I didn't know what he meant until I went back to the office and I realized, hey, this is a cash business. This,
Yeah.
the financial statement is just a government form that he's filling. It's not who he is. So, you have to know who you are. And when the senior partner asked me, what is it that we are selling to people? I started talking to him about, mergers and acquisitions, and we sell, international business, and we do this and we do that. And he said, no, this is what we sell.
What
We
is
are
that?
we are the aspirin.
Oh,
We
sorry,
are
Phil.
the
Tell me.
aspirin of of a person's headache. That's
Oh,
all you are. They have a headache. You give them the accounting aspirin, and when they leave, they don't know what you've done, but they know they don't have the headache anymore. And that's what we do here.
nice.
Hey, he's right. I mean, I've
That's a
gone
good one.
through in my corporate job. We had audits every year, and I'm looking at the auditor, and I need to understand something. I'm going, that sounds like very accounting like terms. Go talk to the person over there. I'll tell you how the business runs, but they track the numbers, right? And at a certain point, that's not my jam, right? That's not my headspace. I get it. I get why it has to happen. The purpose of everything. I get it, but I'm also not a proctologist either. So, there are things I don't touch.
Yep.
Aspirin being one of them,
You could
typically.
call it account perin.
So
Yeah, but no, but that is it's a skill set, right? And that's they're there to make sure the accounting make sure that you run, right, and you can sustain yourself, right? Not only just for compliance, but are you running the business for success, right? And truly, if you get into fractional CFOs, then it's not just counting the coin; it's a matter of like, what's your strategy, right? Eric does that really great advice about different things. Like, yeah, I get what you're doing, but 5 years from now, what is that going to look like, right? Are you further ahead, or are you still status quo? Or you're running a restaurant with 18-year-old servers and maitre d's that are just screwing you over down the stream.
that is why if you're going to have a great restaurant, with great cuisine, you always have the owner there. The
Yep.
owner is the one that meets the people, is the one that sits the people.
Yep.
He opens the store, the restaurant at 11 o'clock in the morning. He closes it at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. Yep.
If you don't open and you don't close, the cash will disappear.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
also assuming that that owner is a personable person, because sometimes you go there and they're not a very good person at all.
Yes, but usually it's
At most
usually
times, yeah. Yeah.
usually restaurants that are run by the restaurants that are exclusive
Mm.
are started by people who really love
Yeah.
the idea of the restaurant. Right.
Yeah, and that's why I go to them. They're so nice. Like there's Colonnade Pizza, which is a great example downtown on Kent. I walk in there and I'm just a regular Joe, and they say, "Hey, Tony, I haven't seen you for a while." Oh my God, it's been like 4 years you haven't seen me. And he said, "Yeah, come on in. How's it going? Yeah, here. What you coming yourself, or you got some more people coming?" And I got more people coming. He says, "Great, we'll take care of you." Like I don't even look at the bill. It comes in and I pay it. I look at the bill a month later after the credit card comes through. It's that's how I want to be treated, because it's so hard to find that kind of service. Great Gabriel's Pizza on in Canada is another good one. You walk in there and they serve breakfast pizza. I know. That's what I said in the morning. So instead of the stuff they put on, they put eggs and they bacon and it's like a pizza, and but
Is it actually
they
pizza?
have pride in that, and it's such a great environment. And you know what? It's always packed. Like if you're not there by 8:30, forget it. You're going to be in line. You have to wait for some people to leave. They have about probably I think about 80 tables. It's a pretty big place. So that's how you know that business is going to go, because of the personality. You're being treated really well, and people like that. They just like that feeling. Even if I'm not hungry, I'll go there just to support. It's local, and I know they have families and there's people there, but he doesn't do the cooking. All he does is greet people, and he smiles. It goes around. And he doesn't do the work like he used to in the beginning. That's where you have to sort of detach yourself. You're not part of the service anymore, the actual food. You're part of the branding. Is exactly what Kat was saying. If you're as soon as you're branding, that's what people love. Do what you're best at, and that's greeting people.
But
So
having said that, Tony, I think if you're going to do a breakfast pizza, that's you got your differentiation to start with, because that's not
yep,
normal.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
maybe it is in Canada, it isn't here.
yeah. It's an amazing place, but there are so many other restaurants that really don't care. And like I'll go there, and then the worst part is you get a restaurant that you go to and you're treated like gold, like a king. Then you go to a restaurant that service is good, but you're comparing. Oh, well, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, and that's the worst, because they've done a phenomenal job, but not at the caliber of this other restaurant. So I think that's great when you're sort of a trailblazer, and you all other restaurants are compared with your restaurant. That's amazing. Yeah, it's not as good as this other restaurant, but it's still phenomenal. People that don't go to this other massive, great restaurant would never know. They just, oh, the service here is great. Well, it is, but it's a totally different echelon when you're greeted and you haven't been there for years, and they call you by your first name. How do you make that up? Like, this person has such an incredible memory. That's it means a lot, and it's Italian. They're known for treating people so well. It's family, and it's a great cultural thing. That's part of their culture. Is just getting around a table, eating pasta, having wine, laughing. Like, who doesn't want that? I mean, even when you're eating alone, you want that. So, yeah.
That's why you have to be smart enough to know what you are and what you're not. That's why
Yes,
McDonald's does not run Italian restaurants with
that,
owner shareholders that are there to meet you.
that's
No.
it.
Right.
That's it. They're selling a model. That's
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 right.
it. Yeah.
And McDonald's model is mediocrity. You know, uh,
The model is amazing.
Yeah,
It's the way they do everything is mediocre. Yeah.
no, it's not. It's, the you know, I I played football for a team in Toronto, and they traded me to Chicago. And before I got to Chicago, they traded me to Kansas City. So when I got to Chicago, I had to go by plane to Kansas City, to St. Louis, Missouri. Okay, we're near Kansas City. So um, in the plane was the head of marketing for McDonald's. Just coincidence. And I told him, my father makes a better hamburger than you do. And he said to
You
me,
actually said that.
yes, I said
my
that to
gosh.
him. And he said to me, my father also makes a better hamburger than we do. So he said the same thing back to me. So he said to me, that's not what we're selling. He says,
That's right.
what we're selling is that when you are, he said to me, in Canada, and you go on your car and you go to Austin, Texas, and you see a McDonald's, before you go in there, you know how the hamburger is going to taste, and it's going to be the same hamburger you had in Ottawa or in
Yeah.
Montreal.
Right. That's right.
He says
Yeah.
that is
Uniformity.
that is really difficult to do. That is really difficult to do, he said to me.
People know what to expect. Yeah.
Yeah, and also from a business perspective, it's almost impossible to have that kind of uniformity.
It is.
You know, so
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so they spend their entire existence in life is to make sure that there is no difference in how they operate and how they do it, and therefore marketing works because you know what to expect.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's replication, isn't it?
Yeah. Like when I was in high school, the most popular fast food place in Southern Ontario was Harvey's, and Harvey's used to chase kids out, and they used to and hamburger joints used to lose the customer as soon as the customer went to university or college. They never came back as an adult. And McDonald's saw that weakness and they said, we want to have young kids in here, so we will have a clown.
Yeah.
And when you have a clown, a 5-year-old does not go to the restaurant by themselves. They bring the parent with them. And the parent is the customer, but the marketing is done through the 5-year-old.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think, like I seldom go to a McDonald's, but I still, if I ever go to one, I know exactly what I'm going to get, even if I haven't been there for 5 years. Like I know exactly what the Big Mac is going to taste like, or what the Quarter Pounder is going to taste. I know all of that, no matter where I am, where I am in North America. So but that conformity is difficult to do in business. Treat everybody the same and to sell the same product to everybody that's equal. It's difficult because not all your customers are the same. Right.
Yeah.
So and in small business we cater to the fact that we have different customers and we treat them differently, which is the opposite of the McDonald's system.
Yeah.
They have
Well, another good example is Thai Express. There's a chain store that's called Thai Express.
Yes.
And here they have actually Thai people that are running it. In Carlton Place, it's East Indian people running it, and it tastes like Indian food with a Thai thing, and it doesn't work. You can't like now. My son actually lives 2 blocks away, but drives to Canada to pick up his Thai food to go back, and that's not good because. But somebody was able to afford the franchise fee, and they don't care who it is. So they'll sell it to an East Indian, but they're putting in their, I don't know, it should be the same. Even if it is Thai food, you're shown how to make it. Yep. But you're right about the consistency. It's not the same if it's a different flavor. You don't know what you're getting then.
But I think it depends on the restrictions though, Tony, because like McDonald's, they have to buy all the ingredients from a particular place and they have
Yes.
to make it a particular
Yes.
way. Whereas a lot of franchises, like Burger King's a great example, they're supposed to be the same, but they're not 100% the same because you can do what you like. It's just
Yes.
just how the franchise works. And obviously, the Thai one is just a name. It's not an exact
Yes.
representation.
Yes.
That's right. Yep. Yep, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay, anyway, well, you went a little overtime. So, oh, you found the card? All right. Okay.
Have a great day.
All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
Have a good week.
Bye.
That was
Great
Oh, you're
presentation, Kat.
Thank
still
you.
recording and broadcasting, FYI.
Oh, you're right. We are. Okay.